We're looking at question 66 in the AP Statistics Midterm Review packet, and I chose this one because it deals with the principles of experimental design. Now, question 66 in general says, hey, what's the purpose behind control and experiment? Now, we do have three principles of experimental design. We have control, which this question is asking about, where I have replication, and we have random assignment. Those are the three principles. And so that's why we are doing this video for this, is because I want to make sure we understand what those are. So even though this one's only asking about control, we are going to talk about the other ones as well, because by the way, they're actually hidden in the choices. So it is important that you can tell the difference between them. So let's kind of read what's going on. And so if I have the first one, I'm told, hey, the purpose of control is that it distinguishes a treatment effect from the effects of confounding variables. That sounds good. I don't know yet, but it sounds good, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to eliminate it. Allows double blinding. That's not the purpose behind control. The double blinding is not the purpose behind it. Control exists in, or should exist in every good experiment. It's one of the principles of experimental design, so you need that. So you're not always dealing with double blinding. So therefore, B can't be the answer. Reduces sampling variability. Choice C. That sounds good too. I mean, we would love to, reduce variability. It creates approximate equal groups for comparison. Again, that sounds good. You want roughly equivalent groups, so that way you can compare results. So I do like D. Choice E. Eliminates the placebo effect. Well, you can think about control groups. Okay, well, what about the word eliminates? That's a strong word. You never really eliminate the placebo effect. You try to reduce the impact of it by using the control group. So, by the way, but that's not what control and experimental design is. So I don't think it's E. I'm stuck between A, C, and D. They all sound good. So which one is it? Which one am I dealing with? So let's just kind of go through what are the three principles of experimental design so we can have an understanding. And this is taken from your notes. The orange is what they are, and the blue highlighted is their purpose. Control is to make sure that we ensure that the only difference, the only systematic difference between the groups is the treatment that's being administered. So think about that. What are you controlling in the experiment? What are you controlling in the experiment? I'm controlling whether this group gets the new treatment or the old treatment. I control whether this group gets pill A or they get a placebo. Random assignment. Now that ensures that you have roughly equivalent groups. Wait a second. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Roughly equivalent groups. That looks like one of our answers, right? If I have creates approximately equal groups for comparison, wait a second, that sounds like randomization. So choice D is one of the principles of experimental design, but it's not the one it's asking for. It's asking for control. All right, so now let's figure out the other one. What's the third one? Replication. Use enough experimental units in each group so that any differences in the effects of the treatments can be distinguished from chance differences between the groups. So that's replication. So what does replication allow me to do? That means I have an increased sample size. And what that's going to do is that's going to help me reduce my variability. So this is really replication. So I did say I do not think that the answer is going to be B, and I did say I did not think the answer was going to be E. So I'm thinking the answer is A. The control for the experimental design, what's the purpose behind it? Is it distinguishes a treatment effect from the effects of confounded variables. We can see right here that it ensures that the only systematic difference between the groups is the effect of the treatment administered. So I'm going to go ahead and say the answer in this case is A. Those are the three principles of experimental design. Each of those three are important, so hope you understand why we went through all the choices for this one.